And here in this case we'll have the following issue, which is going to be obviously Blitzcrank with his Q, so we'll have to space at the opposite side from where he's going to be and to stay behind the minions. Kinda like, do you remember this game where you got to play Driven against Nautilus? So it's going to be the same concept in this case as well. He goes left, we go right, he goes right, he goes right, we go left. Stay behind the minions, and that's pretty much going to be it. Now, otherwise about damage, I don't think we're gonna be able to win against him that early on, because if Blitzcrank gets close to us with his E and his Q, he'll be able to have much more impact, I believe, compared to Milio. So I'm mostly gonna be leaning towards that defensive side a bit early into the game, allowing them to push me to push towards me, so we can have the wave under the tower and be a bit safer this way to survive the earlier stages of the game. But we'll see also how the enemy bot lane gets to be playing, and we're gonna react / adapt accordingly. Okay. Otherwise, up to this point, just based on the two bot lanes, we're making some assumptions. And based on how they get to play it out, we will get to play it out accordingly as well. We also do not have heal, while they do, which is another thing to keep in mind. And they also have ignite, which we don't do, or which we don't have.
Right.
Otherwise, about mid to late game, the biggest threats are going to be Jarvan, since with my ultimate I can't really get out of his ultimate. I'm simply going to be invulnerable for a tiny bit. Yorick with his E, but seems like because of Grasp he won't really go for the Assassin build, for the Lethality build. So his E I don't think is going to be that big of an issue. Tristana is going to be an issue to some extent, because she has a fairly decent amount of damage. But if she jumps close to me, I will be able to deal with her. Kai'Sa is ultimately, I would say, going to be the biggest issue when it comes about kill potential wise on me. So we'll need to keep an eye on that guy. We'll need to be very careful of Blitzcrank as well, because of his Q, 1 Q, and we die afterwards. Or at least we're gonna get bursted really, but really heavily. So we'll keep this in mind.
So what's the why do we take Ghost over Barrier here?
So Ghost, because I like the mobility that Ghost gives you, combined with W as well, and it for me it feels better. Just in general, you feel much more mobile, and for Barrier I can compensate to some extent, if that makes sense, with playstyle, with the way that I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be able to compensate for that, and simply not get to put myself in such risky situations, for example, where Bodial will come in handy. I'll just be a bit more cautious, be smarter with my trades and which ones I decide to go for, and they ready top side, so I will quickly go ahead and place a ward. And about mid to late game, my positioning will have to be better as well, because of that reason. The stun has mid lane. Those two guys should be coming back towards top lane, towards bot lane anytime soon. And since they do, I will try to get a push lead towards them, because the issue that we can be facing as well against them is when they push the wave to our side, and it's going to be under the tower eventually, Blitzcrank can be looking to threaten me with his Q. So putting them under their tower is going to be countering that, and is going to neutralize to some extent the kill potential that they will have on us as well. As you can see, the guy is trying to go inside the bush to pull off a Q, which I'm not going to be able to see. We need to be careful of those small openings in between the minions, see? That small gap. We need to be careful of that as well. Unfortunately, Milio doesn't really get to... That is actually sort of okay. I believe I should be fine. Yep. Yeah, Milio wasn't really helping me that much with the push, unfortunately, so we're not able to get the push towards them. I like the level 2 at least first, which as we saw was an issue. They also used heal. I will need to be a bit more careful. Top my cookie as well. And now our eyes will need to be on Blitzcrank when the wave will come under the tower. Ideally, we'll wait for this wave right now to come so I can play behind it. I'm gonna have to sacrifice maybe a minion or two, but that's going to be okay. To be able to achieve our goal and not fall way too behind. Here being very careful as well with how exactly we get to use our abilities. When we get the passive auto attacks, get to line up the minions in such a way where we can hit as many minions as possible at the same time. Need to be slightly careful here as well. Because one hook and we get to die, which is not going to be okay. Here when going for the Q as well, it's going to be ideal to hit the minions and either Blitzcrank or Kai'Sa at the same time. Kathis is on bot, so as we can see, we'll keep an eye on this guy and see how exactly he moves. So we can play based off that. This guy's Q is now on cooldown, so he can be much more aggressive. That is okay. This guy's by himself. Slightly kite back. Perfect. And now my eyes were both on Kai'Sa when I was fighting her. And once this Blitzcrank got outside the bush, I immediately turned my eyes on him for the majority of the time, so I could see what exactly he was going to do. And at the meantime, when we were fighting him, I was keeping an eye on Kai'Sa to see how exactly the guy was going to be moving, to know if I should be looking maybe for the flash or anything like that or not. Here we can be looking for a bit of poke as well, just like that. We managed to push the wave in time. So what we'll have to do in this case is, because Kai'Sa has no mana whatsoever, I will try to push it back towards him as quickly as possible, utilizing my AoE abilities, which is going to be Q and E. And this minion over there is lost, which is okay. Because they're going to be busy with the wave. Most likely there is a ward, seems like, yep. Let's pop this plant quickly. I'm keeping an eye on them at the same time. This guy's dead. Pull the feathers right now. Perfect. He made a very fatal mistake. Actually, Ghost wasn't really necessary. I thought he was not going to die from this last out and he was going to be 1 HP. This fight is very okay for me right now. Pull the feathers. Get to lock down this guy. He flashed away. That is okay. Perfect. And my eyes are all the time just switching between targets, so I can keep an eye on every single one of them and not really get to tunnel vision, if that makes sense. Honestly, right now, what most likely they are going to do is going to be they will push this wave and think that we have recalled. In this case, Kai'Sa is fairly low on HP, and I can be looking to potentially surprise this guy when he comes close, to go for an auto Q into W, and then eventually look for the E. His flash is down as well. Unfortunately, this doesn't really get to work. This melee fucked up. Nobody's over there. Those two guys are killable at this point. We can be looking for the kill on both of them. Interesting. That's very fucking unlucky. Yep, really fucking unlucky. His E got it. It's crazy. 1 HP and his E also got me while I was untargetable. Interesting. Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna be able to bounce back from that, especially once I get my Essence Spirit plus boots. We are going to be fairly okay. Let's hope the rest are going to be able to do something. Most likely they'll try to commit on me under the tower. If they do so, I'm actually going to be happy, because then we'll have a fairly good chance to try and make an outplay. I have the feeling that this guy is somewhere on adapters, maybe using Hex Slash or something like that. This is a somewhat good chance for me to go ahead and shove in this wave. Kai'Sa is in the middle as well. Yep, definitely. Definitely we're gonna be able to do so. Yeah, this is middle as well. Okay, nice. I have some time to breathe now. And to be able to get some gold back. That's really nice as well. Let's get one of the minions. Get as many as we can, and as quickly as we can. So there's no threat. Kai'Sa is still melee. Blitzcrank is dead. And if J4 comes, we should be somewhat okay. Even if I die, actually, in this case, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to stay for this tower and stay for the next wave as well. At this point, I'm worth like 200 gold or something like that. So it's kind of whatever. Maybe like that they won't really expect it. They might have been expecting me to back away all the way. So this way, I believe we should be out with no issues whatsoever. Drake is spawning soon. Seems like a few things are happening towards top side. This Jeffrey was trying to get Rift, but he backed away. Where he's still. He's not busy on mid lane. This guy fucked up.
No, Gwen, no!
Unfortunate Q. She missed the direction. Kai'Sa should be coming towards us on top, yep. We can't really walk through the jungle and go to divot. Actually, now we can. Yep, now we definitely can. Perfect. It's okay, still good. And our team should be able to win this one for sure and to be able to get 5th as well afterwards. Nice. 3-4-1. Perfect. 750 gold for me as well. I want to go for Navori, but I'm actually going to stay only on Zeal for now, so I can get Infinity. I'm going to use Zeal in this case to be able to get just the stats quickly for the 1100 gold, and to be able and utilize the rest of the gold for Infinity Edge because it gives me a big power spike when it comes to about damage. Drake's spawning as well, so he will need to push. Sabot is getting pushed right now. Top lane, it will be nice to be pushed as well. This Mazahar has to be, so not quite sure as to why he's not pushing top lane quickly with his abilities. To apply some pressure, we need to apply some pressure with it as well at the same time before we make a move. There's J4, but I cannot move even if I want. First of all, I have no doors, second of all, I have no ultimate. I'm not quite sure what Gwen's trying to do by herself, when the guy has no vision whatsoever from the upper side of Divan. Now potentially can look to help him out. Arguments are coming from everywhere as well. One guy's there, one guy is over there. So those two seem to be solo. Let's stay here for a bit. And now once a few abilities have been used, now we can be looking to walk up and get a kill. Nice. I'm gonna go back towards mid lane. My team doesn't know to lead me, and plus it will take way too much time for me to walk up over there and be able to do anything. So I'm going to move towards mid and look for the kill on this guy. He's actually fairly killable for me. In case my ultimate is coming up as well. I believe. Okay, flash for flash. That is fine. We forced out the flash, so the next time he gets to make a mistake, he is going to be dead. Right now, in this case, he should be looking for the recall, so by shoving in the wave like that, we are looking to apply as much pressure as possible on him. You see here, seems like he is not. J4 is here, Blitzcrank is here. There is no follow-up for Blitzcrank, which is okay for us, so I won't use my ultimate or really anything else. I was keeping an eye on the minimap as well when he jumped on me, so I could see if J4 was actually going to be coming towards me, or maybe anybody else. So I knew if I had to use maybe anything from my kit or not, like maybe flash if I was going to have flash, ghost, ultimate, and so on. So I don't really get to waste anything, if that makes sense. Gwen is getting killed on top lane by Kai'Sa and Blitzcrank, which is unfortunate. I can't really fight with this guy, he's right tanking him on 50% HP almost. Maybe there's going to be a plant here or two, which we can take, but seems like it has been already taken to some extent. Midwave is going to be getting pushed in even more, I believe, so let's go towards mid and push the wave quickly. It's going to be solo XP and gold, which is going to help us to come back into the game. We should be expecting J4 to be moving towards bot lane as well, I believe. Actually, he was on top side. There's a wave on top lane as well. We have a ward over here, which is going to be nice to be placed like that, so we can cover both their jungle and river at the same time, maximizing the efficiency in this case. Kai'Sa is here, which I cannot really fight. I will need some help from Karthus. Hopefully he comes. If not, I won't be able to fight with this guy, and I will simply just sit inside the bush and wait. He's at 2 items, while I'm at an item and a half. Yeah, I can't really do much for the moment. Maybe I can flank him. Let's see how this really gets to play out. Yeah, we're gonna give it a try. I have ultimate up, so not quite. Oh, that is fine. I take it. I was expecting him to actually start coming towards me, but no. I'm going to be way too late for this fight, regardless, and this was not my responsibility anyways. I can't really do anything about that. I'm not quite sure why Kai'Sa flashed away like this in that fight. It made no sense whatsoever.
Scared her.
Well, it seems like.
All women desire a con. Like they'd know what to do.
Seems like when Blitz is not around, he's much less brave than he used to be. I was gonna be looking for the recall, but seems like we have a fight going on. I won't still show up, because if they decide to commit, this will discourage them. Planning ideally in this case, I would like to go and push this wave, but we have no vision left and no vision right on the right side, and it is very likely that somebody of them is going to be over there. So, and we saw two of them, and regardless, right? It was very possible that maybe one or two of them, like somebody else, was behind them. So yeah, they're gonna be getting collapsed on top side most likely. I believe this guy has to be soon. I'm not quite sure what's gonna be happening here. I don't know about this one. I'm looking to use Rift to. I had my cursor on the other side, but I guess. I still look at how this one works. It makes no sense whatsoever. My range is so little. They get to be able to attack me first before I do. Yeah, let's go for Drake in the meantime, while they're busy with Rift, at least even though it is for a little time. I need to wait for, yeah, the hook, or really anything like that to be... I can't really do anything else in this case, so I was going to die regardless. So after my ultimate and my E, I was looking to immediately go ahead and try to deal as much damage as possible to this Yorick. Otherwise, the ultimate was fairly nice with the E. We got to deal quite some damage, and we actually killed the Tristana in the backline as well. So that's good.
But we're just accepting that we're not like the main win condition here.
In this case, no. So the laning phase started fairly well, if you remember, but then when we made this move and Milio walked up and he gave us a shield, just basically revealing where exactly we are, things went a bit to shit in this case, and then we got hooked again and we died and it went and went, right? And everything just got to be messed up. So in this case, I still played like an ADC, even if I was going to be fed, I was not going to walk up. Because here, first of all, we had one threat, which was J4 with his EQ ultimate. And then we also had Blitzcrank. If you were noticing, I was positioning approximately here, while Blitz was here. So I was gonna be waiting for his Q to be used. And ideally, maybe for the J4 to go ahead and use his... how is it called? To use his EQ. Which wasn't my highest priority in this case. My highest priority was going to be Blitzcrank to go ahead and use his Q. Because for J4, even if he hits me, like, it can't really be followed up by anything else, if that makes sense. Maybe like ultimate, but to some extent, maybe his ultimate, I can be looking to ult it as well, right? And while he's jumping on me, to avoid the damage. So that's what I was mainly just waiting there to happen, so I can get the green light, right? Like, imagine you're going to be on a stoplight, and it's red. Basically, me positioning this far back, Q goes out, on cooldown, green light, let's go. And we're moving. Being able to just keep, not keep track, but keep an eye on things like this and keep track of where exactly people are positioned and what exactly are the threats that we need to be careful about is super important. Now this ward over here is super useful. There's a small black spot of Fog of War that we can't really see that many things happening. Unfortunately, actually the fairly sneaky Baron. So congrats to them. As the Poach have been placing a bit more wards in this case. We can be looking for the kill on this time. Gwen is very brave, not quite sure what's happening there. I wouldn't really do that. And I won't really help him as well at this for the moment. Because it's really fucking stupid. Okay, at least she is backed away because of the damage that was dealt to her. I'm now keeping an eye on J4, but now this as well at the same time. J4 EQ is my biggest threat in this case. He's gonna be looking for it anytime soon. Very likely. I have my ultimate and I can potentially bait him, but because my Gwen is so low in HP, she should not be able to follow up. So that's why I decided not to initiate this one, if that makes sense. Because like the play is good, but based on the circumstances, it's not possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right now, two guys are dead. One guy mid, one guy bot, one guy top. So we can be looking for the kill here. Seems like he's dead, so I'll not have to use my ghost to chase him down. Let's wait for News to line up a bit. Use the E, clear the wave. This guy we can kite. Be careful of his cage. Blitz is over there, but we have quite some distance between us and him. We can be looking to kite this guy. Deal some damage. Unfortunately, no E damage. Or like not all of it, because we had a 2-second cooldown on it. Let's quickly shove in this wave, and since our ultimate is down for the moment, we will have to back away and go be a bit safer. This guy didn't steal a recall, which makes no sense. One of them is up, which is J4, so I will not really stay anymore. I will try to get as many of their camps as possible to deny resources before I get the recall. They most likely expect me to be on red, which will take way too much time, and it's way too obvious, that's why I didn't go for it. And we have 2.9k gold, nice. Finally we can be looking to buy Affinity H. And maybe I won't actually go for Navori to finish it. In this case, since the game is that close, I'm actually thinking of GA, to be able to buy GA, have the passive, and then have the luxury of being able to be caught, but not dead, and then to also have my ultimate as a backup once they get to kill me from the GA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so they...
Like,
so,
like a reason why GA makes me fifth.
yeah, so first GA, because what will happen? Let's say I go for ultimate, and then my GA is popped, right? After... Those bastards. I should be still out, I believe, yeah. Because after my GA, they should be sitting on me, for sure, right? And I should be expecting like 3 abilities at least to just one-shot me at once. And that's why I would like to have my ultimate up before my... or like... after my GA gets popped. Yeah, this isn't really possible for us to do anything about. That should be a kill, for sure. That should be alright, I believe. Yep. We are fine. One guy's on base, so we're fairly low on HP as well, so it doesn't really matter. And actually going to finish the game. Nice. GG. Alrighty, so how was the game for you? Any questions?
I definitely liked learning. Well, I liked the transition from like realizing we're not the main win con and like playing around that.
Mm-hmm.
But no immediate questions, no.
Mm-hmm. Maybe anything else that stood out to you, let's say the most, or maybe something or some things that I was doing different compared to you that you noticed, except the transition that we made from, let's say, laning phase to mid game?
You're definitely more willing to take like auto trades, I feel like, than I do. I don't like walk up and do auto trades a lot, I guess. Those are like the main two things I noticed.
If you had noticed when we had gotten the first crash under the tower when we got to kill Blitzcrank, do you remember that I had went for a quick QE on Kai'Sa when she was under the tower, fairly low on HP, like she was 25-ish% HP, or give or take? Like things like this, you can be looking to be doing no matter you're the champion. Just based on the champion, you can be looking to maybe do a better one or maybe a worse one, or maybe like the same.
Right.
But you can go for something quick like that. This was like level 4, and I went for a quick QE on the guy, and it dealt almost 200 damage on him, 189 to be exact. Right? Do this like twice, 2-3 times. This is like what, 70 mana, let's say per cast, or maybe like 80 for both Q and E. And this gets to be 8, 16, 24, 240 mana for for almost like 600 HP of the guy, which is a bit more than 50% of his HP at this point of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because for example, in this lane, like I told you before, the game started, we were on a disadvantage when it comes about damage. Right? Because Blitzcrank gets close to me, and my damage first of all is going to be delayed because I'm going to be CC'd. And the damage from Blitzcrank actually isn't really that bad. The guy can go for a quick auto into E, pull me with his Q, and this is like guaranteed 250-ish damage, give or take. Right? While my Milio in this case can't really pull it off. And then when we compare my damage compared to Kai'Sa's damage, Kai'Sa can pull off much more damage in, let's say, 2-3 seconds compared to me. Because I need time. I need time to get the feathers out, to stack them up, and then to line them up, and then to go for the E, right? Like, it's not as quick. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So, then figuring out ways around that, for example, going for the quick Q and E is great. Because you get to create a small HP advantage this way, 2-3 times, like you can even do it 4, and then you can go in, fight with them, and even though they will delay your damage and you're going to be on a disadvantage, because you got to create this HP advantage, it doesn't matter. Because when you're going to be out of the CC and they're going to have abilities on cooldown, you're going to be able to kill them. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because they're going to have like what, 30% HP, 40, while you're going to be at 100, and the whole rotation is going to get you at 40% HP, but then they have nothing else to use, while you still have your abilities up and you have not used them. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so getting to identify strengths, weaknesses, seeing what we can do, seeing what they can do, make sure to avoid to play in such a way where we can make it as difficult as possible for them to play the way that they want, right? And then get to adapt. If we can do this, okay, we can play this way. So how exactly can we play? How exactly can we adapt? Can we make a workaround around this particular thing that is, let's say, denying us from being able to succeed in this lane? If there is going to be, of course, a way, right? For example, in this case, that was us being able to go for like maybe a short trade, like let's say an auto plus Q and then E and then back away, right? Maybe like an extra auto. This is going to be like 3-4 seconds. And then back away, or maybe just go for an auto plus QE or just QE, right? And even if those things won't be possible, then you want to think about once again, like what exactly can we do then in this lane? What's going to be the best thing that we can do to be able to get the best result possible? Like if it's going to be just surviving the laning phase, then that's going to be the best thing that you can do, and you should be figuring out ways. I was like, okay, how can I achieve that? How can I survive this laning phase, right? What sacrifices will I have to make? What things will I need to be careful from? Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be consistently achieving those goals. You're going to be striving towards them, no matter what's happening. And also something very interesting which I just noticed. I'm 4-6, got to be so far behind, 17.1 to 16.9. Kaisa, who has 9 kills.
Mm-hmm.
Something interesting which I got to notice here. Right? And those are just basic fundamentals. As long as you're going to be knowing, or like you will have the knowledge of what this champion does, what the other champion does, their playstyle, what exactly they do and what not, you are going to be able to play. Of course, if you understand as well what exactly this role does, how exactly this lane is supposed to be played and so on, what your role is going to be in the game, you're going to be able to play any role at a fairly decent level without really struggling too much.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And the simpler champion you're going to be picking in that particular role, the easier it's going to make it for you to achieve very good results. Because, for example, if I was going to be playing, let's say, Ezreal or something like that, it will be a bit more difficult to play this out. Why? Because I would have to be more mechanically inclined in that case, because I will have to be hitting the Qs 24/7, I will have to be poking, hit a W per position with the E, then kite, and hit the ability, and hit the auto attacks, so I can, or like not hit the auto attacks, but hit the Qs to be able to get a reduced cooldown, right, and so on. Does it make sense? So somebody like Xayah, in that case, isn't really too complicated. Like you have one skill shot, I would say only one, even though ultimate is a skill shot as well, and E, I would say you have one, which is only Q, and then the rest is fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. Not really complicated. Make sense?
Yeah.
If you're serious about ranking up and feel stuck, ForgivenBloodCoaching.com is the right place for you. You can be assured with high quality coaching, many options to choose from, flexible work hours, and because we believe in what we do, we offer a money back guarantee if you fail to reach your goals while actively following our guidance. Don't believe me? Check out the results and what our students have to say. So what are you waiting for? Try this free by clicking the link in the description below and get the rank you've always been dreaming of.